Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. It's time to check in at St. Mary Parish and with the St. Mary Parish Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant David Spencer is joining us and tell us about a couple of incidents that have happened on more of the western side of the parish, but involve some shootings that I know you're still looking into, right?
Right. It goes back to around Thanksgiving when we had a shooting on Chatsworth Road in the Franklin area. And thankfully, it was damage to some homes, property, but nobody was struck by bullets, which is a good deal. And our detectives arrived on the scene, took that one, started fleshing it out, and eventually we did arrest a 17-year-old from Patterson, Jaden Delisbor. And he was charged with criminal damage to property, aggravated. There may be other charges coming down with that, but as of right now, that incident is still under investigation. And then, of course, on December 7th, over in Baldwin, we had another shooting where a vehicle was hit, and then we, as the detectives were fleshing that one out, also found that a home had been hit. As well. So, yeah, just some shooting activity, and we're looking into that. May be gang related, may not be. All that's still under investigation.
So, David, when you have a shooting like this, and I know you had a car with some bullet holes, you had a home with some bullet holes. I mean, Baldwin and Franklin are kind of close, but not. Do you think these might be related, or I guess that's part of the investigation?
That is part of the investigation. They could be. It's not really clear at this point, but they're looking into that as well. I'd love to see some more arrests come out of these as well.
Yeah. And I know local law enforcement for sure, when these things do pop up and you start seeing, and like I say, we don't even know if these are separate instances or if they're related, but when things do start kind of going back and forth like that, when you might have two areas, I know local law enforcement's really like to get on top of that to make sure it doesn't escalate into a bigger scene.
Right. Yeah. You always have that opportunity because one thing happened, somebody else feels the need to do something else. Back in the past few years, we've had some gang activity on that side of the parish, and it got kind of quiet for a while, but. If this is part of that kind of stuff, you definitely want to jump on that and put an end to it as soon as possible.
Do they know was it somebody who was in a vehicle that was doing, I don't want to say a drive-by, but did it involve vehicles that were going through the area, or maybe somebody in the houses?
I'm not really sure at this point. All of that's still a part of the investigation to find out what was going on.
I see. All right. So in St. Mary Parish, as we go through the holidays, and we talk about it in this area as well, that there's cane trucks on the road. There's rain that we've seen the last couple of days. The roadways become a lot more slicker and a lot more dangerous to be on. So I'm sure you have your deputies out really kind of making sure people drive right and prepare for the holidays, right?
Right. And look, anytime you put just rain in the mix, my phone usually starts lighting up with crashes and vehicles in the median and stuff. Just that slickness on the road. When you add, I used to ride a motorcycle, man, when you add just a little bit of rain and it mixes with antifreeze and oil and all that, roadways can get slick pretty quick. So yeah, we definitely want people to watch out anytime there's rain. There's been rain the last day or so and going to be probably for another day before we dry out. So be very careful with that.
So, Dave, this time of year, people are holidays, those kind of things. People always have to be careful about scams and people online trying to take your money instead of spreading Christmas cheer, right?
Right. And they're good at it, and they will hit you with some information that will make you believe. And then you got to be careful. I was hit a couple of weeks ago when I was on a 3-day weekend with my wife in Mississippi, and I got a phone call from someone claiming to be with my bank and provided me with a phone number. Said, "Oh yeah, it's us. You can Google it and find out." But they were not really trying to make sure that it was me, but they were really trying to get some card numbers. And that was what made the difference for me. Everything sounded really legit, but instead of, "Hey, are you really who you say you are before we give you this bank information?" It was, "Yeah, we know it's you. We just need to make sure that we have the last 6 digits of your card." If you see stuff like that, if they're asking you about card numbers or, passwords and stuff, that's a big no-no. Your bank, if they call you about something, which they were telling me I was about to have about $8,000 taken out of my account from somebody using my card up north. And that kind of threw me off. They will usually always make sure that it's you. They'll ask you questions to make sure that who they're talking about is really you. They didn't do that. They just took it for granted it was me. And then they started asking for, "Give me your last 6 digits of your card." That's a no-no. And I was not being scammed, and I didn't have anything coming out. I spoke to my bank the next morning, and it was kind of funny. When I called the bank the next morning, they made sure that I was who I was. They already have my account numbers. They don't need
They don't need you to get them to them. Yeah. So look, if it can happen to a sheriff's deputy, it can happen to anybody. So sure appreciate
That's
the
what
update.
I told my wife. I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm the guy that warns people about this, and they're hitting me."
That's right. Well, thanks for the update from St. Mary Parish, Dave.
No problem. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.